Hey Oliver, I hope you are feeling better. This video is originally for Oliver because he was gone today, but this is also a video for students to watch back to if they want to learn or relearn the doubling and halving strategy. So today for math, we talked about problem strings and we titled it doubling and halving. So I'm going to write doubling and halving. So if you've got a notebook out, why don't you go ahead and grab a piece of paper out and follow along with this, okay? So it's called doubling and halving. So what is doubling? Doubling is you double something. So it's the same number plus itself. Now what's halving? Halving is having something and then breaking it into two equal groups. So in a way, doubling and halving are kind of opposites of each other. That's important to know for this lesson. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve this 4 times 6. You might know what 4 times 6 is, but let's try doing it the area model. So we can do 4 little linear pieces here to help us find 4 times 6. Okay, so I've got 4 here and 6 here. But just to make it easier for me so that I don't have to draw so much, and for you too, you can just make a straight line, 4 times 6. Okay, so we can use the area model, which means we're using rectangles to help us. So in a way, there's 4 rows. That's what 4 times 6 means. And there's 6 columns. That's what 4 times 6 means, okay? But I'm just going to leave it blank because I know that by now. So 4 times 6 is 24. So I'm going to write 24 in that. We also, in class today, learned the 4 song. It goes 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. And we'll keep practicing that. That's a strategy that, or a technique that we can use to find out the 4s. All right, let's move on to the next problem string. So now that we know 4 times 6, how can we use that to help us figure out what's 8 times 6? I know 4 times 6 looks like this, and 8 times 6. What if this is 4 times 6 from earlier, right? This was 4 times 6. What if I just added another 4 times 6, right? Because these two equal 8, and this is still 6 up here. So in a way, I'm just adding 24 plus 24. I'm doubling, okay? So 24 plus 24 is, I'm going to add the 1s, which is 8. I always start with the 1s because it's easier to regroup from there. And then I add the 2s, and that's 4. My answer is 48. All right, let's go to the next one. 8 times 3. How can I use what I just used up here to help me find 8 times 3? Because problem string is all about seeing the connections from the previous problems. Okay, so the first one, I doubled for these. So maybe I could half these. Yep, so I'm going to do half of 6. So I know 8 times 6 was 48, right? That's what I set up here. But if now I do half of it, I only need this area because that's 3 and 3, and 3 and 3 make 6. So basically, I'm just doing 48 divided by 2. 48 divided by 2. Wait, that's got to be 24 because doubling and halving are opposites of each other. They're inverse. So my answer is 24. Okay, 8 times 6. Oh, that's up there already. So I'm just going to say that's 48 because I've got my work up here to show me. how can I use, sorry, let me grab this down here and this down a little bit. Okay, how can I use what I just learned from this for this here? I see a connection. I noticed that in order for 8 to get to 4, it halved itself. It cut itself in half. But then 6 to 12, it doubled itself. So when you take something away but then give it back, it's kind of cancels each other out. It makes itself equal. So I think it would make itself 48 too. But let's double check. So 8 times 6 is 48, and then we've got 4 times 12. I'm going to do the ratio or the area model to find out. I know 4 times 10 is 40. I wonder how I can find the area of this. I know it's 2 times something, but I don't know what the missing side is. But I know it's a rectangle, and all rectangles have the same parallel side. So if that's 4, this is 4. So this must be 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. If I add them together, it does equal 48. Okay. Earlier, too, in class, Uriel said, well, Miss Wine, we know 4 times 6 is 24. And so I'm just going to write that here for you to see. He said we can just double it, and 24 doubled is 48. That is a way for us to know, too. So this proved that if you double a number, a factor, and you half the other factor, you'll get the same answer. So 4 to 2 halved itself. So 12 to 24 doubled itself. So that means the answer must be the same. And you know what? 2 groups of 24 is 48. Okay, that's what we worked on today for math. Now it's your turn to practice. So I'm going to put up 3 problems on here for you to do, and I want you to take a picture of your work and show me how you doubled and halved it, okay? So these are the problems that I want you to do in your notebook and for you to take a picture and send it back to me. So I've got 12 times 14, 16 times 20, 25 times 8, and 48 times 4. So I'm going to model how to do this one for you just so you know how to do. So I'm trying to figure out 48 times 4 using the doubling halving method. That's what I'm trying to do. So which one do I want to double, and then which number do I want to half? I think I want to double. I think I want to double 4. So 4 doubled is 8. So if I double one, I have to half the other. So what's half of 48? 24. Okay, so now I can solve this using 24 times 8. So I can do 10, 24, 10, 10, and 4, and 8. All right, right here is 10 times 8, which is 80. Here is 10 times 8, which is 80. Here's 4 times 8, which is, I can sing my 4 song. Got 8 fingers up because it's 4 times 8. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 32. If I add them all up, it is 160 plus 32, which is 2. Start at the ones, 192. Okay, so I showed my work, which is good. So you're going to do the same thing here. These 3 are going to be easier than 48 times 4. I just picked the hardest one to model. Okay, so take a picture of this after you're done with your work and submit it, and I will give you points for the day. And then for the second part of math, you have a math worksheet to do for small group because we're doing rotation, so I'll give you the worksheet for that. And we are taking a math quiz for that. Okay, so do this first, and then there will be a next video for the next part. Bye.